Hey everyone, this is Accounting Nightmare, and welcome back to the Mega Man Legacy Collection Challenges. So we've looked at the first 20 of these so far. Yep, we're up to the Mega Man 3 Robot Rush. Gonna look at another 10 today. Yes, Mega Man 3 has a very strange cast of robots, including good old Snake Man. Snake Man's my favourite. He shoots snakes at you. And he's weak to the needle weapon from Needle Man. Of course, Shadow Man. He's annoying to fight with his weakness, the top spin. It's rough to hit him without getting hit. Also, if you're not careful with top spin, it'll just drain all of its ammo. It's a bit buggy. Needle Man. Now, Needle Man, I think, is the hardest Mega Man 3 boss, and I have the most trouble with Needle Man out of any boss in the first 6 games. I should have really taken a death there, but it's alright. This isn't nearly as tightly tuned as the Mega Man 2 Rush was. Yeah, so his weakness is the Gemini laser, and it's rough because the Gemini laser, if you miss with it, it'll just bounce around for a long time, and you can't shoot another one until the laser either disappears or hits something, which will make it disappear. So missing shots against Needle Man is painful. But Hard Man, he's weak to the Magnet Missile. Gotta be careful with the Magnet Missile, that you don't spam it too hard, otherwise you'll run out of ammo, because you'll hit him a lot when he's still invincible. But he's not too bad. Top Man is weak to the Hard Knuckle. I'm not sure why, he just doesn't like getting punched in the face, I guess. If you're quick enough with that first shot, you'll get him before he does the first spin. I wasn't quick enough this time. Gemini Man. This is a bit weird. Gemini Man is weak to the Search Snake. But he's also weak to the Gemini Laser, which is his weapon. A bit strange. It's not as bad as Metal Man being 2-shot by his own weapon. So yeah, I was going with this strategy. It does seem to work pretty well. It does get a little tricky though in phase 2 because, yeah, you can miss a shot and then it bounces around and... But this one isn't too tightly tuned, so it doesn't really matter. Magnet Man. Magnet Man is a boss that you can speed up if you have a lot of health. Because when he does that, that magnetic move, well, he's invincible. But if he hits you with it, he'll immediately stop. So that'll just speed things up a bit. Then you can get more hits in. And Sparkman, who is weak to the Shadow Blade. I'm not particularly good at dodging Sparkman, so I'm just spamming. Spam like my life depends on it. Not too hard, that one. Doesn't take many tries. Didn't for me anyways. Wily Machine number 3. The Dr. Wily boss from Mega Man 3. It's not the final boss. But it's the second to last one, I suppose. This is a strange boss. It feels like they want to emphasize the sliding mechanics. This thing is weak to the Hard Knuckle. You have to jump when you shoot it, otherwise you won't hit it. And then this phase, I'm not sure what its actual weakness is. So I just use Rush Jet and fly up and shoot him. I don't know if this is the intended strategy. It's what works for me. Because you can't hit it. You can't hit him very easily. He's way up in the air. Yeah, that seems to work well. The Cossack Catcher. This is Dr. Cossack from Mega Man 4. These Mega Man 4 health bars take a while. And this boss, I forgot what his weakness was, so I was just using the Buster, and you know, the Buster's pretty good too. I think the weakness is Dust Crusher. But I'm not too sure. He's not a very hard boss, you just have to slide under him so he doesn't grab you. If he grabs you, he'll slam you into the ground and do a lot of damage. And I don't know what happened there. Maybe the replay desynced? Because I didn't see me fire that last hit. Maybe I did though, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, that was weird. Mega Man 3 Megamix. Good old Mega Man 3. So we've got these penguins again. A nice easy start here. Because this is a Megamix, it'll probably have some Robot Masters in it. That portal is a bit weird if the screen isn't scrolled correctly. It's got a strange hitbox on it. And Top Man. Yeah, I managed to get that first shot off quickly, and then you can just spam him in the face and you won't take a hit. Very good. This part, I hate this part with these freaking bees. I hate them. You don't have a shield weapon in number 3, so it's... You can't just spam the shield weapon to get rid of them. Oh, they cause so much slowdown too. Yeah, you can hit the bees sometimes before they drop those pearl things that contain all the bees. I guess they're supposed to be beehives, but they look like clams or something. And this section from Gemini Man's level. That weird penguin robot. I don't know if you can just take a hit from it and run through it. You probably can. And then I'll take a death here, because I'm very low health. And I'm not particularly good at fighting those enemies without taking a hit, so... Best to take the hit nice and quick, I think. Yes, poor things get destroyed by rapid fire. These monkey enemies from Hardman's level are really annoying to deal with. Just run. Oh god. They're really good at chasing you. And they're kind of hard to shoot as well. For this section from Snake Man's level again. This time I messed up the timing on the slides and I got hit a couple times. Not too sure how to get that right. Yes, that poor boss isn't much of a threat when you have rapid fire. This time we do grab the health, unlike last video, because we're not at the end of this challenge yet. I didn't need the health though, as it turns out. But yes, I was still getting a feel for this block section here, where this save state is. Then I learnt that you can just, you can just go for it. You will be able to make it if you just go, like that. And I think that was an accident. I don't really like doing that strategy. It just feels like a bug. But yeah, I do accidentally go into the spikes a lot. Proto Man. I think Proto Man is immune to other weapons, I think. So I think you just use the Buster. Magnet Man again. We have a fair bit of health this time, so we can probably speed this fight up a fair bit. You can hit him twice each little cycle, and it's better when he shoots magnets at you instead of doing the shield, because then you don't have to take a hit. Gemini Man again. They're using a lot of Robot Masters in this particular challenge. Oh, that was a terrible laser. It takes so long. Yeah, best to shoot it up close like that. Oh, that rebound. That was nice. And these junk robots from one of the Dr. Wily levels. I was pretty low health here, so I could have thought about taking a death. But I didn't need it, as it turns out, because that was the last segment. Mega Man 1-3 Mashup. So, 3 different Mega Man games all mixed together here. We'll probably see a lot of familiar save states. This is where it starts to get tricky, because sometimes you have a slide, and sometimes you don't. It's not a huge deal though, because they use a lot of familiar save states, so you can just do things the way you did before. Yeah, and that beehive is actually, I think it's immune to damage, so you can't kill it before it drops bees. You have to kill the bee itself. Once you get those bees off the screen though, suddenly the game is running a lot faster. And hey, look at this brand new room we've never seen before. This is new. I think if you totaled together all the appearances of the different rooms, I think this one might come ahead as the most used save state in this collection. It is nice that it includes some health, though. Not that we need it for this particular run. Yeah, I never did mess around with the magnet beam strategy here, because this strategy just worked for me. I didn't really need to bother trying to get a faster one. Straight into Quick Man's beams! You do start to learn that when you appear at that exact section of the screen, then that's when you're in Quick Man's beams. Because I guess that's your hint as to what's coming next, where Mega Man is appearing on the screen. It would be nice if they gave you like a 1 second delay before the save state started though, so that you can have a warning as to what's coming. That'd be a little bit more fair. Most of these aren't that tightly tuned though, so if you take a death immediately from the beams, it's not a big deal. And I keep trying that zip, but it's hard to do. Just getting the jumping timing right is tough. This segment from Bomb Man's level, that's how you're supposed to do it. Last time I got hit all over the place, I don't know how. It's easy. Poor Metal Man. He really gets used a lot in these challenges, doesn't he? Kind of like Bomb Man. Iceman's platforms. This time I do it a little bit better. I don't drop a first platform immediately. I think you can do it like that. I find it easier just to wait for that first block to disappear, and then you can put a platform all across the bottom. And this is how you're supposed to do this room. See, it's not hard. It's not very long either, so you might as well just do it normally. Then you don't feel like a cheater. And Iceman is no problem with the Elect Beam. Thunder Beam, sorry, it's called Thunder Beam. And they really like this penguin section. I'm not really sure why. There's not a lot to it, really. Just shoot some penguins, get some free health. That's always good. Maybe they put it in there because they want you to get health. Oh god, this segment. This is from the Shadow Man, Mega Man 3. I think it's from the Doc Robot version of the level. When you have to revisit it. Yeah, it's really freaking tough. Those platforms, they will try and drop you on the ground, into the pit. So, let's just use Rush Jet. Why not? It certainly makes it quicker. For me anyway, so I don't have to worry about dying. That segment is really tough when you're playing normally. If you don't use Rush Jet. And I mentioned Bomb Man earlier, didn't I? Poor Bomb Man. And they, I think this is only the second time they use this save state. This would be so much quicker if you could use item 2 over most of this segment. Item 2 is the jet one that travels forwards. But you'll probably run into enemies if you do that. These enemies are spawning just at all different heights. So that sounds pretty dangerous to me. But item 2 is always useful there, and it's great for skipping that enemy. That enemy's pretty annoying to get over. Those are the enemies that move quicker when you're on the same level as them. Hard Man again. Not a big deal here with the magnet missile. I do start to spam really hard towards the end there, and I could have screwed that up. Luckily I didn't. This segment from one of the Dr. Wily levels in Mega Man 1. This isn't used much, thankfully, because it's really rough. You have to freeze these flames at just the right height that they don't block your path, but that you can use them as platforms. Otherwise you have to make a very, very tricky jump. Good old Airman. But this time we can indeed defeat Airman. Leave shield up the bum. But that wasn't too bad, really. Mega Man 4 Robot Rush. This one's a bit longer than the other Robot Rushes, as you can see. It's probably just because of the bloody health bars. They just take so long to fill. Starting off with Pharaoh Man. Weak to the Flash Stopper. Yeah, not Time Stopper, Flash Stopper. And it works differently from Quick Man. Quick Man in number 2 is weak to the Time Stopper, and it just drains his health. Whereas this one, it just freezes him, and you can shoot while you have it active, so you have to shoot him. Yeah, if you can get him at the right height like that, then it's so much easier. You can just spam him to death. Much better. Otherwise, when he's jumping around, it's kind of a pain. Whew, that sound. Drill Man. Drill Man is pretty annoying. He loves to spend a lot of time underground. And I'm really bad at fighting Drill Man. It takes me a while to get the hang of his pattern. I do eventually do it though. I get much better at Drill Man, don't worry. I have to because of the Buster only challenges. But yeah, he's weak to the dive missile. Bright Man, on the other hand, is weak to Rain Flush, and I have no health left, and I know I can't do Bright Man with no health, so Might as well take a death as soon as possible. Save time. But yeah, he's weak to the rain... Is it Rain Flush? Yeah, from Toadman. He's really strange though. This boss, when he hits certain health thresholds, he will freeze time and then do a lot of damage to you. But if you shoot him once at the start of the fight, then he will skip over those health thresholds. Not very good boss design, I don't think. It's a little trick you have to know for the boss, and I don't think that's particularly good. Anyway, Dustman, weak to the Ring Boomerang. Dustman is why is he jumping around so much? There we go. Yeah, so we can either do that vacuum move, during which he is immune, or you can shoot those dust blocks at you. Which, that's what you want him to do, so you can actually hit him. And then I swapped to the wrong weapon. In Mega Man 4, if you're quick enough, you can swap weapons before the boss appears, so if you remember the boss order, then you can get all ready for it. Ringman is weak to the Pharaoh Shot, which you can charge up and do a lot of damage with. Very nice. Ringman's pattern will destroy you until you know how to deal with it. He's a tough boss, but then once you know the pattern, he's not too bad. Dive Man. Dive Man is weak to the Skull Barrier. Dive Man does one of two things. He either dives at you, like that. That's why he's called Dive Man, I guess. Or he shoots missiles. You have to get up close to him to use a Skull Barrier on him. So you do have to be pretty careful about jumping over him, but trying to stay close so you can hit him. Toadman. Toadman is weak to the Drill Bomb. Doesn't like drills. I guess no toads would like explosives, so that kind of makes sense. Skullman. Skullman is weak to the Dust Crusher, which is Dustman's weapon, because bones get dusty? I don't know. Skullman is... I have a lot of trouble dealing with Skullman there, and I would have killed him there if I hadn't fired the wrong bloody way. Yeah, as I said, I have trouble with Skullman. I have a lot of trouble dodging his shots. His pattern's pretty simple, really. He'll jump at you and put up that shield. Then you have to jump over him when he stops shielding. Yeah, Dust Crusher does a lot of damage to him. Mega Man 4 Megamix. Oh boy, right into the probably the hardest part for Mega Man 4, I think. You have to get a lot of practice at this segment. I don't know if you can even rush it or anything over it, because those enemies will reach you up in the air. But oh well, it's done. This segment from Ringman, not too hard. Lots of sliding we can do here. Then we have an auto-scroller, which I think is from Dr. Cossack's, one of his levels. Maybe from Dr. Wily, I can't remember. Those levels kind of blur together in my mind. Yeah, an auto-scroller section in a speed challenge. I have no idea why this is here either. It's not too hard either. Just have to make sure your timing jumps right, because those little balls that are moving around, I don't think you can kill those. And then you've got one of these enemies right at the end here, so don't get too close. Yeah. Charge shot and rapid fire to dispatch it quickly. A bit more Ferroman. Ferroman is also weak to the Dust Crusher for some reason. And that might be... It's actually more fun to fight him with a Dust Crusher. Because, look at this. It's just jumping and shooting. There we go. We got him at the right height now. So now we just turbo fire to victory. And it'll keep freezing time as soon as it's available. And the health slowly drains away. There we go. I think Dust Crush is probably the better choice there. It feels faster. And of course it's more fun. Drillman again. Drillman is one of those bosses that can just really annoy you by going underground all the time. When he's diving underground, he's immune to damage. And of course when he actually is underground, you can't shoot him. So you want him to spam missiles at you, because then you can actually hit him. The dive missile has weird homing properties. So, you know, the closer you can fire it to him, the more chance it'll have of actually hitting him. And quickly to boot. You want it to hit him nice and quick. Now the dive man's level. That section that I really love to use Flash Stopper on. Because these fish are annoying. They kind of... You do need to slow down and take care of them so they don't knock you off the platforms. I was waiting for time to start moving again there, and I figured, you know what, I have time, I can do it. Nah. Oh well. This is from Dustman's level. I'm doing it a fair bit faster than last time. You can jump over and the blocks will appear under you. It's still a bit scary though. And yeah, the rain flush is so good for just annihilating all those ladybug enemies. The grasshoppers from Brightman's level. I don't know what grasshoppers have to do with Brightman. Or spikes for that matter. But this segment has a lot of slowdown. And these grasshoppers are weird because they seem to not jump as far if you're not on them. So like if you're jumping, then it'll affect their pattern. It's kind of strange. You do kind of want to manipulate it because there's two grasshoppers that love to overlap. And things get scary when that happens. Anyway, this segment, nice break from some of the other segments. Nice and easy. You can also get some health back if you need it. But I think we're towards the end of the challenge, so it doesn't really matter. Dustman. Well, I suppose if you're low health for Dustman and you're not used to his pattern, then it can really help getting some more health. It took me a while to learn the timing of how to jump over his shots, and that was a perfect Dustman. He just spammed shots at me. That's what you want. You don't want him wasting time trying to vacuum you up. Skull Barrier. So useful for annihilating those jumping enemies. Because they are so good at knocking you into pits. And this is from Pharaohman's level. These mummy enemies die pretty quick to rapid fire. Charge Shot is also good against them. Don't know if any other weapons are good, but Buster is all you really need, so why bother swapping weapons? This room is a little annoying. I kind of wanted that health, but that's suicide. Those are spikes. You don't have to kill most of those bats, just run through and you'll make it. Oh yes, disappearing blocks, which we can skip. Who has time for that? Not us. MM1-4 Mashup. This is a bit of a longer one. And hey, here's this room again. You get to see me do it leisure again. And again, those disappearing block segments, if you want to see me do them leisure without using items, well, that's a challenge later on. That's the second to last challenge, actually. And Skullman's kind of weird. He doesn't actually attack you until you make a move. Not for a while, anyway. Toadman also does that, but he'll take the opportunity to dance. Yeah, if you leave him, he'll dance, which does the rain dance, which brings down the rain, which will hurt you. So you need to interrupt that. So you can't just have a little standoff. Because he will take advantage of it. Oh, he got the rain off. But that's okay, we killed him. This segment from Mega Man 2. It's kind of weird going back to Mega Man 2 actually, after playing the newest challenges from the newer games. Pretty low health here, this is a little scary. Yeah, you definitely want to hit those eggs so you don't have to deal with the little birds. Metal Blade's so good for that. Because you can shoot it in so many different directions. And I usually try and jump over these enemies, but I have like no health left, so better to take it safe, I think. And that one still manages to pop out one of those little... I don't even know what those things are they shoot out. Like little boomerangs? Dancing boomerangs? Who knows? Get a little bit more health. I was hoping for a big health drop. It didn't happen, but it's alright. It's no big deal. Item 1 works there. I think item 3 does as well. The timing's a little tight with item 1. That was a very quick segment from Mega Man 3. Just want to slide under the enemy, no point in killing it. Yeah, Elect Beam will, oh, Thunder Beam, sorry, will destroy those blocks as well as Gutsman's super arm. And it's quicker, because you don't have to pick it up and then throw it. And yeah, this segment's giving me trouble this time. This ended so many challenges. And I managed to do that jump. Oh, that jump's so nasty with the ceiling over your head. A little bit of hesitation there, but I managed to make it through. Taking that death wouldn't have been so bad though, because I'm actually pretty low health here. So it would have refilled my health if nothing else. And I've never tried to grab that health and still make it off that screen. I think that might be a death trap. If you use the time stopper, you'll be able to make it, of course, because time stopper freezes those yellow lasers. Once again, some Gutsman. It would have been nice to have a little bit more variety here. Especially because like every time you see a mashup of previous games, you'll pretty much always see this room. This and Bomb Man also for some reason. We'll probably see Bomb Man here. I've forgotten exactly what's in this challenge, so we'll find out. Yeah, there's so many other segments that they could have used. I feel like they just made a whole bunch of save states and then assembled the challenges from them afterwards. And they could have made a couple more save states. And that segment. Don't rush that segment. I do prefer to shoot those skull enemies with the charge shot, just to kill them and get them out of our hair. Because yeah, they can really mess with you. It's a good combination of enemies here. The skull enemies will slow you down or knock you out the air, and those enemies jumping up will end you. Ooh, surprised I made that. There was a little bit of hesitation there. Back to Brightman. Brightman's grasshoppers. Yeah, these two grasshoppers. Yeah, see how they overlap like this? That can be a little awkward. It's not too bad, but once you know that you should just be on the front one, because the other one will turn around. So yeah, once you've got experience with this segment, it's not too bad, but when you're playing through for the first time, that can be a bit scary. I think this is the first time I've seen this segment from Mega Man 3. I think it's from one of the Doc Robot levels. And there's way quicker ways of doing this. I didn't know about that at the time, so I'm just kind of flying around randomly. I'm trying to grab some energy so I don't run out of Rush Jet. You do have to use Rush Jet here, as far as I know. But these levels come after you've beaten the first 8 Robot Masters, so you will have Rush Jet. But it's just making sure you know how to use it. Yeah, man, this is so slow if you don't do the better strategy. Which you'll see later on in challenges. Because I know I've seen that room a couple times in challenges. Bomb Man's little section again. Nice and quick. Oh, I managed to get shot that time. A little bit slower than normal, I guess. Hardman. Hardman seems to be one of their go-to Mega Man 3 bosses when they want to throw in a boss. When you appear on that side, I always expect it's going to be that segment from Mega Man 2 where you get to drop item 1. This time though, it's that disappearing block section, which we can skip. You do have to jump as Rush Jet comes down, or Rush Jet will appear at your height, and then the block will appear and block you, and that's no fun. Metal Man again. Poor Metal Man. Metal blades to the head. And hey, it's not Bomb Man. It's Fireman! They don't use Fireman as much as some of the other Robot Masters in these challenges, so yeah, it's nice to see Fireman. Even if he's easy to kill. Well, have to fire again. No Bomb Man! Amazing! Wily Machine number 4. Well, we've almost done here. These are the last two we'll look at. So, the Wily Machine from Mega Man 4. This startup intro is so long. There we go. Alright, yeah, I'll go for Ring Boomerang here. I'm not sure if that's the best weapon to use against it, but it seems to work really well. It makes a weird noise. It sounds like it's immune or something, but it's not. Then you've got this thing, which is The phase 2 is really annoying to deal with because your drill missiles will bounce off. It's really hard to hit the weak point, which is that little circular area just below Dr. Wily. So you have to explode your drill missiles manually before they hit it, or they'll bounce off. Yeah, it's very hard to hit it at that height. But we got it. Mega Man 5 Remix 1. So we're into Mega Man 5 now. Number 5 has the Super Arrow, which you'll be seeing a lot of. This weapon, look at it. It just moves so fast. It's like item 2 on steroids. It's really quick and easy to use, actually. It feels like they've really nailed the mechanics of this sort of thing. Look how quick that moves. It's really easy to drop several ones, to like climb in the air as well. It's very nice. I like using gravity hold there just to clear off that screen. Oh yes, Crystal Man. This segment from Crystal Man's level. It's pretty nasty. I don't like this level actually. It's got these horrible things in it that drop jewels on your head, and they're completely random and they're over pits, so they can kill you very easily. But Super Arrow will let you do this, and you'll zoom through and you'll be safe. And it's a lot quicker than trying to deal with that stuff manually. Gravity Man's level, we've seen this segment before, but it's still pretty fun. I really like Gravity Man's level. The gravity gimmick is just, it's really solid. Works really well. And Super Arrow really chumps this section. Whee! And all those enemies miss us. The ground there actually does collapse. But, you know, who cares when you're standing on a Super Arrow? And Super Arrow will take off without you if you're not quick enough. So yeah, I messed that up a fair bit, but it's okay. It's all done. Charge Man's level. We're on a train. And yeah, Super Arrow does actually hit enemies. And oh, yeah, those enemies will end your Super Arrow travel. Because Super Arrow is, yeah, it's kind of like a projectile. I think there's much better ways to do this segment, so you can Super Arrow over the whole thing. But, you know, I wasn't very good at that. I'm still brand new to actually using Super Arrow in that manner. This segment can be pretty annoying to rush through. There's those spikes on the ceiling that just want to kill you. I forgot what level that's from. Maybe it's from one of the Dr. Wily levels. But yes, that's all the challenges we'll be looking at today. And next time we'll be starting off with Mega Man 6 Remix 1. I'll see you next time.